Hi, this is SLKGTFE from the Unity community, and this is video 3 of my Advanced Inventory System 2.0, with updates and things I've added and or removed. Alright, let's get started. First off, I'm going to hit play and show you just visually things. Okay, right away, nothing really new, except for this. I've removed the tabs. Mainly because they're causing issues with the equipment system, because if you have a small inventory, then you can't see the equipment system. So I've removed that and actually added in another button, which is K, which will open the equipment system. See? K opens it. Yay! And also it's very functional. I've also added in, let's pick up all of these. One feature I'm working on is when you're highlighting an object, I'm going to add in a toggle feature, a toggleable feature, which will display a icon on the little open space there of what the icon looks like in the inventory. As of right now, I don't have that feature implemented yet. I'm working on that. And here's the storage chest. Here's what I've added right there. Draggable items and also smart dragging items. They know that there's an item slot there and replaces it with the item. Also, if I hit E again, the item is still being dragged. That is also will be toggleable on and off. And storage chests have different sizes as usual. Another thing I've added, what removed from the inventory system, is the settings for padding, icon padding, window padding, and offset. Those have been moved to a new object called System Controller right here. It's just an empty game object, and this is so basically if you have a player object and you have drivable vehicles, you're probably going to be removing that player, and that'll create null references in the chests and whatnot, and you don't want that. So that's where this comes in handy. And you can still change the icon with height, spacing, padding, all that. And also toggle dragging windows and whatnot. But what I did add for the one thing I did add though is this cursor. You can actually change what the cursor looks like. Equipment placement, which is how it's aligned. So if you want the inventory icons to be aligned vertically, you select that, or left, right for horizontal, or human formation. It would actually come up with a human shape, like one for slot. It'll actually pretend this is like a 2D character. It would actually put the helmet GUI button for the equipment here, chest here, gloves here, pants here, belt here, boots here, accessory here, and so forth. And this does is it will these three window texture and both will, if you have your inventory open, we'll change this from either this window here to a texture or this window with a texture inside of it. And what this does is if you want the equipment system to lock, not move, you would use this. And that will basically change it to where you can't drag the equipped window. And if you want it to not align it, remain at an offset at a specific spot on the screen, you select none. And below this will eventually be a vector 2 setting to select exactly where you want it. Outside left through outside bottom will align it to the outside of the player's inventory on whatever side you choose. Inside will align it to the inside of the player's window, and the player's window will automatically adjust to that, to the inventory system's height and width if it's placed on the inside. These are useful for if you have like an FPS or something like that, or if you want to limit what type of objects the player can equip. well, you can still have them equip them, but these will make it so they don't display. So if you don't want them to equip them, then you don't put them in your game, and you just uncheck these, and they won't be displayed. And the equipment window automatically adjusts. Item container size is what you use for all the objects that are lootable in your game that you want your player to be able to collect or pick up. Without this, the player can't drop items, otherwise you get null references and whatnot. So that's why this is here, and this will eventually be moved to the system controller, as it is a global object, and the player is not. That's pretty much all I've added so far and changed. Oh, and there's also this. Title alignment and title X and Y offset. This allows you to realign the title here, see how it says inventory, to be placed either here in the center and to the right. And also you can choose its offset, so you can actually customize exactly where you want it, which is very handy, depending on your GUI size. And I will be renaming storage chest to something else, because not everything is a storage chest. I will actually be changing it to container. So if you have like a corpse or something you want to have like some slots, you can just put container in next. And yeah, and still has the same behaviors though. You can change its stats and whatnot, like what settings it has, just like any other chest. So chest, and there you go. There's all your settings and whatnot. That's pretty much it for right now. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if there's any questions, comments, things you'd like to have me add, you can always PM me on the Unity forums, and whatnot. Also, when this is released, the first tutorial video I'll be releasing is how to link the buff stats of your equipment items and the consumable buff to your player's health controller and other buffs of in your player stats. Like if you're making an RPG and you have like defense, strength, and whatnot, attack, I'll actually be doing a video tutorial on how to get these values and add them to your player's value. That is actually the first tutorial I'll make when this inventory system is finished, because I actually got a few questions on that. Ask me to implement something like that, but this is a system, an inventory system, not an RPG system. This is just for inventories, and I am trying to make this inventory system as flexible as possible so it can be put into a wider range of games, not just RPGs, but most likely FPSs, maybe RTSs, I don't know. So, any questions, just let me know. My website's all set up for the store almost. I have this. I found a website where I can actually sell this. I don't know. I don't remember if I mentioned that or not. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be selling this on the asset store. I most likely will be selling this on the asset store as well as on my website, but I'm not sure how many people use the asset store and whatnot. But just count on it being added in. So, hope you enjoyed the video.